YouTube. Welcome to a Monday vlog. A very odd one. I want to say that just because today is a very, I want to say, an odd day. The reason I say that is the place that I work at this time is usually right towards the end of our busy season. We still have the rest of this month and the next month, which usually means we're working anywhere between 9 to 10 hours, 2 shifts, which this year we went down to just 8 hours way earlier, and this is just really shortly after we got bought out by the new owners. So what's so odd about this is here it is, starting of the 3rd week in August, and we're already down to 1 shift. They let the second shift go. Now what does that mean by second shift go is we do have some that few that's permanent or full-time employees that was on second shift, so automatically they go today, and then they keep some of the good ones. Well, the temps that we had on day shift, they kept a few of them and got rid of the rest. So we got a few new employees that's going to end up being permanent, even though they've been here starting the second. It's just usually this doesn't come like this until the 1st of October. And I want to say last year, second shift lasted almost till October. Well, almost till Halloween, actually. The longest I ever known that. I have known to let the second shift go early in the past, not this early though. Usually like mid-September. Usually when they do it early, we end up getting slammed with orders and having to work overtime. So I'm actually looking forward to the possibility of some overtime, because if we'd still been working overtime like we normally do this time of the year, I'm pretty sure I would have had my truck completely done by now. Even most of the body work done. Even the big stuff I would be replacing body wise. So, I mean, when I came in, I seen some of them that was on second shift there ready to work first thing in the morning. And I was like, oh my goodness, second shift's already over? Very surprising. Now I gotta say, there is at least one on day shift that they got rid of. I'm kind of glad they did, because he was lazy, he didn't want to do his job. He was one of our forklift drivers. He wasn't good, and he definitely wasn't bright. His elevator didn't go past the 1st floor. Light bulb was always blown. Whatever way you want to say it. His elevator didn't go all the way to the top, and it had a 1-story house. Let's say it that way. There was another forklift driver we had on day shift. He seemed to do all right, but I didn't see him there today, so I figured they'd probably let him go to get as well. They kept the forklift driver that was on the second shift. The reason I'm pretty sure they let the other one go is because he was out quite a bit, and pretty much the other one they let go when he was there, or when he was out. That's when the other one was out too. So it's so shocking that where our second shift are in. I hope that's not a sign. I don't think it is, but with a new company, anything can happen. I mean, we had a lot of changes the last time we switched owners because right before I started, the owner of the company, or actually the original owner, he passed away, and the daughter took over, and she pretty much wasn't in it. So wasn't really a big surprise when she sold the company, but it wasn't sold to a huge corporation like we're under right now. Even though we was number 2 in the industry of what we're doing, we got bought out by our number 1 competitor. We were still a small company, so now we're just a small branch of a bigger company. And really, they could, if they wanted to, they could say, hey, we're going to take everything in this company or this plant and put it in this one, and just leave us sitting there with no job. They said they weren't going to do that, and so far we got new stuff coming in, so it's just the overtime is definitely disappearing. So just have to wait and see on that part. So enough about this depressing news about that, which still think there might be some overtime coming in pretty soon, because anytime they shut it down early, like I said, we end up with slammed up with some orders. So let's get to some better news. And this has to do with my truck, which I was talking about earlier. I could have had it done if it wasn't for the overtime being shut down. Now I didn't get no videos took yesterday, but I did take a few pictures. One I took of the side that I finally got the passenger side done, and I say about 85% of the wiring loom, if not more, loomed up. There's a little bit of a hiccup on that, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But yeah, I got things hooked up where I could actually put the key in the ignition and turn it over. Now I didn't put my relays in or fuses in the standalone harness part. All I wanted to do is make sure I had things wired up where I could turn the motor over, and the motor is going to be turned over and not be locked up. Because last time I turned it over, it was still fine, but that'd been about 6 months and a lot of rain ago. Although the motor itself I've been keeping nice and dry. So to actually hear it turn it over on its own was really exciting. I got all the wiring almost complete. The reason I say almost is, and I actually loomed part of this up before I got thinking about it, because when I was hooking up the injectors up to the fuse block that it goes to and stuff, one injector apparently when I sorted it together slipped out of my hand, so instead of 4 getting sorted into one, it ended up being 3 got sorted into one. So I need to run a wire to it and slice into the other harness back into it and put it back. Which when I was looming everything up, I loomed from the PCM down as far as it could, and this is just to organize things. And then I figured, well, I'm gonna do the engine and come back. And I was doing it, and I had any wires that stuck out to the side that either needs to be hooked up later on, or what branched off to something else, I would bypass on the main harness. Well, I was looming up, and one of them ended up being a pink wire. Well, I'll take care of that later. And got it loomed out, separated. And I was sitting there hooking up, and I was like, well, Alright, trying to figure out which wires goes what. Most of them I got labeled, but there is a few, like I think 2 pink wires that didn't have no labels on it. And one of them happened to come off the harness, that come off the engine. The other comes off the PCM, which it says it needs to go to a key source. So I did get to be able to figure out what number it is and what it went to. So I just have to run it up to the harness and patch it in, since I got everything else kind of wired up already. But I was like, okay, what's this other wire? Does it need to go to something? Then I think it was later on that night, I was sitting resting when it dawned on me like someone just threw a brick in my face. That was the one wire that come off the injector that didn't get wired up. So I gotta finish wiring it up. 2 other wires that goes out, which I can wire up later on, which goes to relays to the fan, fan 1 and fan 2, which I do got the fans actually mounted onto the radiator. I just gotta wire them up, so I do need to get a few connectors for them wired up and have that part done, which I still need to find my radiator support base to hold the radiator in place. So some of the other wirings that's sticking out needs to, which I got two of the wires that goes to my OB2 port. I had them sliced, I had them shrink wrapped down low, ready for it to be shrink wrapped, and I was doing all the wiring. I done sorting, and then I was going back and shrink wrap, or heating up the shrink wrap. Well, I was going through, and apparently I didn't realize one of the wirings that when I was shrinking the shrink wrap with the heat gun was blowing on not one but 2 of the shrink wraps that was on the wire on those 2. So it shrunk around the wire and not where I connected the 2 at. It's not a big deal because those ain't hooked up to the OB2 port, so I can still slide shrink wrap back on and don't have to cut one. I was like, that is just so typical of something that could happen. This is the first time I've done one of these big wiring harness like that. So I just gotta, I think 1 or 2 that's gotta go up, hook up to the fuse on the standalone harness, and then OB2 port wires I've got run, but they're different colors than what everybody else uses. Just happen to be the wirings I have. There's just 2 that I need to worry about that I haven't run, which be one is a key source, another is a ground, which I can actually connect that inside the cab where I want to put it, so I don't have to have but 3 wires actually running into my firewall. So I don't even think I'm gonna have to worry about drilling a hole. I think I know where I can push it through another garment that'll work well. So almost got that part complete. There's got one that's a constant hot that I need to wire into my one that goes to the battery, and I got it to the length where I need it, and I have connectors where I can connect it to where I want to connect it. The problem is I can't find what happened to those connectors. There's several of these stuff that's got mixed, like my OB2 port that I bought to wire up my check engine, my OB port, stuff like that. I haven't been able to find. I still got to figure out which wire I need to run up to check engine line as well. Still got to hook me one of those up. So that's one of the wires that's probably sitting out to the side as well. Now let's get to the little hiccup part I was talking about. Now remember, I depinned every one of the pins that went to the I repinned them, and I had to end up unpinning them and repinning them again because it was getting pretty tangled up. So I got that all sorted, and the blue connector looks really good. I was able to get it lubed up quite a bit. The red one was starting to bubble up. I was like, well, I'm going to lube what I can, and then I'll figure out what's going on past that point. Well, I got, of course, the part from the engine down and parts from the harness from each color up to a certain point. And now I got this one section that's probably about 8 inches long. Some of the wiring is probably a little bit longer and some of it's a little bit shorter, and those are just one big bundle mess. I don't want to undo it, pin it, and do stuff. I've worked on this thing too long. I spent a good, I say 8 hours total on that truck yesterday. Most of it working on the wiring. I did do other stuff. I finished putting on the coils, put my other header on, which the driver side header, that is really starting to concern me, but I'll get back to that in a little bit. But just a little bit of wiring part, I'm going to try to just straighten out the best I can, flatten out, make sure what needs to be hooked up elsewhere is up and out of the way, where I can hook it up. There's just a few that should have went through the loom that I didn't. I thought they went to something else at the time, so I just got to complete that up, and then you know, when I put the main loom on it, it'll cover everything up. And where this is bundled up at, planning on it's be right where the PCM was going to end up being set, and I'm going to build me a little bracket. It'll actually completely cover the PCM. I want it to be able to kind of cover the fuse block, and just have it where the relay already show, or have a flip top where flip it up and you'll see the fuses and relays from there. I'm still trying to decide on that. I need to get the material to make it with. But other than that, the engine compartment is now looking really good. Got all 4 coils on, looking good. Did end up dropping one of the bolts to hold the coils on, and luckily I had a big old magnet that I bought just because I found it, I think in Harbor Freight. You can scrape it on the ground, pick up stuff. It's about I say 3 inches round. Apparently there is a huge water leak up here. It's just spewing out of the ground. That is one of the water pipes down there. So I guess they're going to call the water department and have them cut it off and then have them fix it. But I got that, and then I got the headers on, and like I said, so I can finish putting my wiring harness on it. Now, the one on the number 8 plug, no, 7, because it's 1, 2, yeah, 7. The end of it almost touches the header, so I'm a little concerned that the end of it's going to end up getting melted off. So I definitely going to have to put my heat shield back on it, which I'm planning on putting heat shield back on all of them. The ones that was on it, the original ones, they all got bent up, so I will need to order me some new ones. But I should be able to crank it with it like that, so, with no problem. Although, coming down to the headers, I had to go with headers because the manifold, stock manifold, I would have had to modify things to be able to work on the passenger side. And with these headers that I got, the passenger side works pretty good, and it snuggs up to the frame a little bit, but I think I can bolt everything up. Even on the driver's side, it's going to be tight, but I should be able to bolt things up, although the downpipes I bought do not mount up to it. So I'm going to have to rig them up, but I do have a little small issue. I don't know what this person was doing. They turned into this road and almost come to a complete stop as they're coming in, and then finally slowly start going. Anyway, let me get back to what, I don't know if these people are lost or what. Let me try to get back to what I was talking about. The headers on the driver's side, when I was putting them up, there is one section where I'd say there might be less than an eighth of an inch gap between it and the frame. These people are turning, and I'm pretty glad because they're starting to concern me. So, if it ends up hitting, I only have two choices that I can go with. One would be to actually cut the frame a little bit where the heads would have room to move while the motor's moving. The other, which I'm still considering anyway, is go with a different kind of headers, which if I did, I'd go ahead and go with long headers instead of the shorts. That way I'd have the O2 ports already on them. One of these because it was more in my budget line. But I needed more stuff to go with them, so about the same price of what I'm probably going to be spending to fix that. I could already have them run where I can run my exhaust the way it is. Now there might actually be one other solution, and that's to change the motor mounts to where the motor actually sets up a little higher in the front. I'm not exactly sure how I do that. There is a couple of motor mounts I'm actually looking at. If I had to move it though, what I'd want to do, let me get on this road first. If I had to move it, I actually would prefer to move the whole thing. Engine and transmission up maybe about a half an inch to an inch. I say the motor and transmission because I had the motor where I'd like to have it at one point, but it wouldn't mount to the transmission. I didn't want to worry about dry shaft and stuff like that, so I went ahead and moved the motor back. Now, if I had to do it again, I would just go ahead and move everything up. Put the motor exactly where I want it, how I want it, make sure the head's done, and then mount the transmission up to it. I wouldn't have even had to drop the transmission. All I'd have to do is go down there with a jack, kept it up, moved the brace, and then slid it up to the engine. But since everything's bolted, so if I had to end up redoing things, it will come up forward a little bit. And the engine mounts that I got, which I had the original factory style engine mounts, which I replaced them with new ones because the bushings was gone in the ones that was on it. And I went with the I think it was $24, $25 universal mounts for the plates to be able to mount the original mounts to the motor. So I do have other ones if I had to redo it picked out, but they are they are more expensive. Way more expensive. I mean, I paid like $9 a piece for the rubber bushing mounts, and then the $20 or $24 for the other one, while these other ones would cost I think $150, $200, somewhere around there. Anyway, I'm home. I'm gonna rest a little bit. I might be able to get out there, do a little bit more work on the truck. It's actually stayed clear today again. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.